Okay. There's the old chimney that I told you about. There's your close-up. Okay. I'm going to crest the hill and then back down. Excuse my dingy. I'm going to drive wet. I'm not buckling up because I'm going to have to turn around to see the back out. Goes way on down in there. Goes way on down there to nothing but open fields in my great aunt's ginormous house. Now you know. Let's take a drive. Had a big copperhead crawl across the road on me just a minute ago, so maybe we'll see another one. I hope not. Ooh, I hate snakes. Hill. Oh, goodness. There was a tree that had fallen across the road up here, too. Somebody had sawed it out since the last time I was down this way. So when the tree falls down here, you don't get to call the electric company. You got to call your neighbor with a chainsaw and take it out of the road. If you wait on the electric company, you'll be down here for 3 or 4 days and can't get out. It's the only way in and the only way out. So, try to miss the potholes. Ooh, shaky, shaky. I like these little shady spots with the swags. Roller coaster. I believe up here is where the tree was down. September, but today sure feels like a June or July day. If all the flowers weren't topping and seeding, I would, hello mailman, I would think that it was a June or July day. It is warm today. Got cows in the creek and cows in the pond, and it is hot. There's where that tree fell right there. Probably my dad that sawed it out of the road. It's pretty fresh. I also took a picture of my dad's farm truck. He runs the Rolling Hills farm. And took a picture of my dad's farm truck because I'm moderately, like, I have a crush on it. It's a beautiful truck. So I'll show you a picture of the truck right here. To our farm view. This is pretty land down here. It's very pretty land. Lots and lots of farms. Oh, I'm fixing to get behind a hay baler. Is that my father? Lots and lots of farms. And you can start to see the leaves on the hillsides are just starting to turn. Just starting to think about turning. We had a couple of colder nights last week, and it made everything think about fall. And they're just starting to show a little bit of yellowing. So it will be fall soon enough. Is that my dad? Is it's a cab over, but it may be. I don't know. I can't tell by the baler. I had to get behind him on the hill, didn't I? You know, I mean, always. This is why people in the country have patience. We get behind tractors and farmers and hay balers and bean pickers and everything else. Come on, jeep, jeep, up the hill we go. And I'm not going to honk and be nasty because this could very well be my father. I don't want to be spanked in the middle of the highway. I love this hill though because you come down and you can see the view of the road and the farms and the farm across the way, and it's just really pretty. You won't get the whole view because my camera won't tip up. Well, I'll show you. See, there's the whole view. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. Boy, I am just smooth, ain't I? Not at all with this camera. Yeah, that would be my dad. So I guess I'm running safety for Dad. Oh no, he's gonna pull over and let me by. Isn't that sweet of him? Thank you. Oh goodness. And here we go down to the holler and cross the creek. It stays like so cool right down in here, and there's a creek on the left hand side that runs and it crosses the road. You gotta go over the bridge for a second. Even on the hottest of summer days, you can come down into this little shady spot. It's just so nice and cool. But now it's snaky too, so you gotta be careful. But it always stays so nice and cool right down here. And then you can, if you're brave, you can jump off and go play in the creek down yonder. But yeah, I'm not going to. I've already seen a copperhead today. Don't want to see any more. At all. Not at all. Boy, this road's busy today. Howdy. Run me off the road with a big old Chevy. I mean, my vehicle's not imposing. I mean, it's a black on black Jeep. But you think that they would like get out of my way too? That was rude. Okay. So as you can see across the hill, more farmland. Surprise, surprise. We were just in an area called Little Crab, if you're wondering where we came from. I'm running errands for everybody that lives in Podunkville away from the city today. See if I can get the chicken houses, the broiler houses on film for you. They're right on the side of the road, and take you up the mountain just a little bit as I climb the hill. I've got to go through a straight stretch here before I head up the hill though. I've got to get to the edge of the plateau so I can climb the mountain. Oh, up here, coming up is a church on the right and the outhouses on the left. And yes, I've gone to this church and I've used the outhouses. And as you see on the left there is a bunch of chicken house broiler houses. There's actually about 7 or 8 of them, but you can only see the first one there, the first pair. Been to many a foot washing and a singing at that church. And I always took strategically timed bathroom breaks so I didn't have to wash feet, because I don't like feet. I'm sorry, Jesus, I just don't like feet. Now I've got to make it through the swag till I hit the hill. I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, we're fixing to start climbing the mountain. I just wanted to pop on before we get to the big curves and say, if you get car sick, you potentially don't want to watch this person, and you might want to take a Dramamine even if you do get car sick. Because we're fixing to chase her tail up the hill. I've driven this road since I was a little girl, so just bear with me, okay? And this is what I say, if you leave my house, you have to go down the mountain and then you have to come back up it to go home, because I live on the top of the plateau. So if I leave my house for more than 20 minutes in either direction, I've got to fall off the hill. And then to come back home, I have to climb the hill. It's even worse on I-40 because the hill is like 6 miles at an incline, and it will just, I just feel so sorry for all my vehicles because they have to do that. If I leave to go to Fuller or anywhere, I have to climb that daggum hill on I-40, and it is annoying. If y'all can see, there's just the slightest hint in leaves starting. Y'all can't really see from how low it is, but there's just the slightest little hint of color starting to pop, just in a few maples, maybe a couple of oak. That's about it. That may have been a walnut tree. Yeah, it was. I used to know all the genus and species of all the trees. Like red oak is Quercus aceracea, black oak is Quercus velutina, red maple is Aceracea rubrum. I used to know all the genus and species of all the trees because when you get bored and you live in the sticks, you just learn weird things. So I knew like 50 genus and species, and I would probably recognize a bunch more if I cracked open my book that I used to have. But I was taught in my first wildlife biology and plot analysis class by an Algonquin Indian. I adored him. And I always wanted to like make the top grades in the class and stuff to show him I was really trying, because I really appreciated him and all of his wisdom. And he would always give me extra credit if I could like make a perfect score. He would be like, I'll give you an extra point. And I always got my extra points. Now we've got to wrap the mountain. We've got to wrap the mountain and plop over the edge of the top. So they fixed this road a lot. They were down here patching the concrete barrier just the other day. People still dig coal off the right there where they've sheared off the edge of the hill. So this is not the steepest portion. The steepest portion is down the other way. You get onto some really kiss your butt curves. This is the first gentle fall off. It takes about 40 minutes to go down the entire side of the mountain to the flatland. And we were maybe a third of the way down. People still get coal there at the side of the road. You can find a coal pocket and they'll work a vein and take coal home to burn in the stove. That freezes every winter, and that rock face and stays frozen every winter until spring because the sun never hits it in the winter and it just stays completely frozen. We even have a picnic area there under the cave right there. And now we're almost to the top. So that wasn't a horrible climb. Now going the entire way down the mountain, if you were to go all the way down the mountain, it does get to you, especially when you get about 3/4 the way down and you're just done and you want it to stop and you want the curves to stop, and when you think you've hit the last of the curves, you find 3 or 4 more hairpin curves and you're just like, I'm over it. But I don't go down that way that far that often, so I don't have to deal with the worst of the worst. And the other way, it's almost flatland till you get to the interstate, and then the interstate has to drop it over. And then the other way is through Scott County, which is just, it's a rough ride, but it's up and down the entire way. So it's not straight down like this way. The other way, going back and going down the hill, it's just like straight down the entire way, and it's just like, good Lord. And I don't know if anybody knows about Jeep transmissions, but when you engage the brake, it disengages the transmission, something other, and it kind of free floats it for a minute till it catches a gear. That's the only fault I have with Jeeps. I'm just telling you. Because you think your Jeep's going to run away with you when you're going down a hill and you press the brake for the first time. You're just like, boom. It's going to run away with me. Okay, so we are almost to top of the hill, and boom. Now we're back in town. See, that wasn't super bad. I've got to go shop, so you're going to have to wait for me now. Kitchen's in a few minutes. Kelly Ray helped me put up David's tent, and we called it a day. Thanks for riding with me, y'all.